And you're tuned to a very special edition of The Bridge here on AM 1320 in Yuma, and also a special edition of Talk of the Nation, I guess. It's not really Talk of the Nation. We're doing a live special event here at our studios, at the KAWC studios on the Arizona Western College campus in Yuma. And I'm Dave Reek, General Manager here and host of The Bridge. And I'm very excited that we were able to get some special guests into our studio today. And they are all the way here from Ireland. And this is the Irish group Goitse. And we're so glad you all could be with us this morning. Let's talk, first of all, to Connell.
Well, I'm Tig.
Tig, I'm so sorry.
That's fine. That's fine.
But anyway, Tig, we're so glad you could be with us. And I practiced that, and I had it all figured out, and I still biffed it. But at any rate, we're so glad you could come in today. Could you tell us a little bit about who's here with you?
Right, well, I'm Tig from Dublin, the piano player and the piano accordion player. We've Colin Phelan here beside me, the baron player, the drummer of the band. And then Anya McGeaney from Dundalk in Ireland, the fiddle player and singer. Conal O'Kane from Philadelphia on the guitar, and Matt Griffin all the way from Dingle on the banjo.
That's great. And just as a point of clarification, we've been playing the CD a lot this morning, but this is not the exact same group that's on the CD.
Right, yeah. James is the baby of the group, so he was a bit behind us back in university, so he's still finishing up his studies, so thankfully Matt stepped in to fill the boots.
Well, it seems like he figured it out last night at the show. It seems like
he's not so bad. He's not so bad.
Well, we're really glad you could come here. We're going to talk a little bit more in a minute, but did you guys want to play a tune for us? We'd really love it.
Yeah, cool. We might play a barn dance into a couple of reels. So this is Lady's Choice.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Outstanding. Thank you so much. Yes, kind of exclusive tickets to this show. We're great that you could be here in our studios, and what a great way to start off your day, I guess. This is a little early in the day for you all, as I understand it.
No, it's not too bad at all. Still jet lagged, I suppose.
That's right. Well, it's great that you could take a few moments out of your busy tour to stop with us today, and this is the culmination of kind of the West Coast part of your tour. I guess you went up through California and through Arizona. Can you tell us a little bit about the places you went to here in the Grand Canyon State?
Yeah, we kind of stopped off first off in Flagstaff with and we stayed with some friends out there, the Barton family, and did a gig there, and then we played in Phoenix and we played in Tucson as well. So it was good fun, and then obviously the big one last night here in Yuma.
Well, we are so glad you're able to stop by here. And I understand you guys, this is not your first time in Yuma.
No. Well, we were kind of doing a few gigs in Arizona last year as well, and unfortunately we were traveling through Yuma and it was kind of late, so we pulled into some hotel at about 1 a.m. and pulled out at about 6 a.m. on the way to somewhere else. So it was we didn't get to see much of it, but thankfully we got to rectify that situation this year.
That's right. That's most people's first experience with Yuma is heading down the freeway. But we're so glad you could stop. And I remember last year we were working with the folks at Living Traditions and with Dave McNabb, because you did a show in Prescott last year.
Right, yeah.
And we were promoting that show for them very much on this service. And I kept thinking, gosh, those people are so lucky. They get to hear these great Celtic bands. Why don't they stop in Yuma? And I remember I talked to Dave McNabb about that, and he said, well, you need to talk to Pat Garrett at Really Good Music, because he knows all these great Celtic bands, and that's how this whole thing started. It's been about a year in the making, and we're so glad we were able to add you guys add us to your list of the places that you stop, and we certainly hope that's going to happen again in the future. But well, tell us, folks, a little bit about your experience of yesterday. I know everyone here at the station had a real ball.
Yeah, it was such a fun gig. Like, first off, it was it was such a nice theatre. It was a really cool feel to it to begin with, and then the crowd just really got into it, which is great. What struck me really was just at the break when we were out chatting to people, and everyone was so chatty and so friendly and welcoming. Like, I kind of felt rude nearly pulling away from people because it was kind of like. And I was saying yesterday, anyone who asked a question that had a one-word answer, that was their problem, because that was their chance gone. The next person was in straight away. It was very funny. But it was a really friendly and welcoming place, I must say. And it was a fun gig for us, and definitely.
That was wonderful, and one thing that struck me yesterday was you guys were loading in. I think I mentioned to somebody, oh, we're very proud. This is our 100-year-old theater. And then last night I was driving home, I was thinking, people from Ireland are probably impressed with 100 years. That's really nothing over there. But here in Arizona, we just turned 100, and we're darn proud of it. Well, we're so glad you could come and share that wonderful venue with us, and share your music with that great audience. And can you play another quick tune for us?
Yeah, sure, we'll do
that. Doesn't
that.
have to be quick. It could be slow, whatever you want.
Yeah, we might play a few reels from named after Connell's hometown of Philadelphia. These are the cheesesteak reels.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow, outstanding. Thank you so much. That is the Irish group Goitse, and they are here in our studios, and really fun listening to that great music. And I guess we should ask for a point of clarification. You guys are from Ireland, so what do you know about cheesesteak?
Well, Connell, our guitar player, is actually from Philadelphia. He's living in Ireland now the last I suppose 6 or 7 years now at this stage. But we kind of, the first time we were over, we kind of did a bit of a food tour of America. But when we hit Philly, the first priority was the try the cheesesteak there. So.
Heading there tomorrow.
And yeah, we're actually heading there tomorrow. Yeah, thankfully we had a bit of a mix-up with the luggage, where Connell's bag never arrived. So we got word yesterday finally that it landed in Philadelphia, which works out as it happens. Yeah, so we might swing by Philadelphia to pick up a cheesesteak and some luggage.
That sounds great. And luckily, Yuma's a casual place, so his attire was perfectly fine for last night. So that's great. Well, we got a chance to visit last night. Speaking of food, we had a great meal over at our River City Grill, our great supporters of the radio station. We had a nice meal last night, and it was great that the Monsignor O'Keefe stopped by and had a little visit. You guys were talking about all kinds of sports teams that I know nothing about, but that was a lot of fun. But one thing you mentioned last night, I just would like to, I know my listeners would be interested in this. You were talking about how music education is strong in Ireland, but most of it is about classical music, and that you guys are part of the group of folks that are trying to keep this Irish tradition alive. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I suppose kind of in the same as nearly everywhere, kind of the whole classical music thing is kind of really put up on a pedestal, and the same is true for the school system in Ireland and as well, kind of across most universities. But thankfully in the University of Limerick there's an undergraduate program. It's a bachelor in Irish music and dance, which is what we would have all come through, which is it's a great kind of it's a great opportunity for everyone, because it really creates a great kind of environment to not only kind of learn the tradition but also kind of progress it and stuff like that. But it is strong. I wouldn't want to give the impression that it's not a living tradition or anything like that. There are some great organisations back home running some classes up and down the country, and there is a bit in the school system as well. It's just kind of, as it happens, most of the teachers kind of come from a classical music background. But there's a friend of ours doing some doctorate work down in UL as well, kind of looking at that and focusing on new ways to kind of really just give it put it up on the pedestal alongside the classical music as it probably deserves,
And when you're not an international traveling around music ambassador, you actually work with students yourself.
Yeah, we'd all have a fair base of students back home as well. Like I said, there's an organisation called KAWC that run a lot of classes, but you'd often find that parents and students alike kind of want to get one-on-one classes with people, so you'd have people calling non-stop, kind of, that way, just to, it really helps, and it's a nice outlet as well, and it's I suppose where it really kind of pays off is then when you see kids you're teaching and other kids then kind of get together and play tunes, and then at festivals, you see people from all over different parts of the country coming together, and they mightn't know each other at all, but they're all having a great time together and playing tunes, and it's a great environment. It's a fun environment.
That's wonderful. We work with a group up in Flagstaff called Flagstaff Friends of Traditional Music, and that's what they do. They offer free courses to kids to learn banjo, fiddle, guitar, whatever they want to learn, and they come together and then they put on a huge festival every fall. Pick It in the Pines is their big festival, but it's a huge success, and I think it's so important that these traditions stay alive. That's one of our goals here at KAWC as a public radio station, is to keep these traditional forms alive. If you got time for one more, would it be too much trouble?
Yeah, sure, we might do one more. Do you want to do... Yeah, sure, we'll do a bit of a peach. This is, we call it a bit of a peach. It's from the first album we did, but it's a barn dance and a couple of reels. So this is a bit of fun anyway.
There we go.
That's great. That's so much fun. Thanks so much. We are so glad that this group from all the way from Ireland, Goitse, could stop by our studios today and help cap off a wonderful pledge drive here at the public radio station that serves Yuma and all of western, central, and northern Arizona. Thank you guys so much for coming by. We really appreciate you taking the extra time to stop by here before you're heading to Los Angeles so that you can fly back east and continue your tour, right?
That's right. Yeah, we're heading up to JFK tomorrow, and then we're kind of heading towards Maine, slowly towards Maine. We're stopping off in Syracuse and New Hampshire, and then we're going to fly back down to Texas, and we're going to end up in Austin for St. Patrick's Day.
Well, that should be a lot of fun, and we're so glad you could warm up here before you head up there to cool off a little bit, I guess. But thanks again for coming by. We appreciate it so much, and thanks to all of you listeners who managed to come by and enjoy a great show at the Historic Yuma Theatre yesterday. And if you would like to grab a copy of their brand new CD, which is called Transformed, we've got copies here, and you can call in and make a pledge at 877-838-5292.